Justinian!
Cease your mewling, boy. It grates my...
Forgive me. When I saw you awaken, I could not... It was such a relief.
Now, Astinian. If Master Alphino thought any less of you, you would still be Nidhogg's plaything. Or dead.
Aye, 'twas but a jest. I thank you, Alphino. And you too, Warrior of Light. Quite how you managed to persuade Hraesvelgr to aid in his brood brother's downfall I cannot imagine. But full glad am I that you did.
I, for my part, owe you an apology. When last we met, I did willingly loose an arrow at your heart.
There is naught to forgive, Hameric. You but acted in defense of Ishgard as is your duty. Were you any less single-minded about it, I would not follow you into battle, nor trust you at my back. Besides, I had come to the selfsame conclusion, that I would have to perish for Nidhogg to be stopped. So let us dispense with the hand-wringing.
Oh!
The tendrils of Nidhogg's foul presence bound up every fiber of my being, usurping my senses. The worm's mind was as a vast and tumultuous sea. Endlessly its black waters churned, his grief and despair at Ratatoska's murder never calming, never receding. It was the very image of my own heart. There I saw the dark reflection of the hatred I felt after Nidhogg slew my family. Neither one of us had a choice. But I was blessed with something Nidhogg was not. Had I not had them to gainsay my obsession, it would surely have consumed me as Nidhogg's did him. Though his shade is banished, his spirit scattered upon the sea of clouds, I feel no joy at his passing. Lord Commander, my hunt is at an end. I would lay down the mantle of Azure Dragoon.
My friend.
He has tired himself with too many words. I doubt not that he will make a full recovery, but he must be allowed some few days of quiet.
I too must see my path to its end. Sleep well, my friend.
Following the battle with Nidhogg on the Steps of Faith, Sir Emeric called an assembly that he might make his final proclamation as acting head of state. "'Twas there, with one decree, that the 1,000-year rule of the archbishops was ended, paving the way for a new republic. The governance of Ishgard would now be placed in the hands of high and lowborn alike, their ranks represented by the newly founded House of Lords and House of Commons. Church was separated from state. The foundation for change had been carefully laid, and the reforms proposed by Ishgard's new government passed into law without incident. His duty done, Emeric de Burrell gladly stepped down from the Archbishop's dais, only to be raised unto the highest seat in the House of Lords. Though he strove at first to refuse this honor, the unexpectedly strident voice of the Count de Durandare left him little choice but to accept. And so it was that the winds of gentle revolution came to stir. Prominent among the many honored guests at Sir Emeric's investiture were the ambassadors of Dragonkind, a fitting symbol of Ishgard's newfound peace. The people looked on in awe as he soared through the heavens on Dragonback, and by their cheers did they hail him an azure dragoon for a new age. Thus were the notes of the dragon song rewritten, the din of war giving way to a rising litany of peace and hope.
To think the Mughals would prove such harsh taskmasters. Forgive me. I must say, your spirited accounts always come as a welcome change from the arid reports which fill my days. Though I have lived in these lands my entire life, to hear you speak of them, there is much and more I have yet to see. Truly, yours was a marvelous journey. Well, truth be told, when I think back on the sweeping vistas of the churning mists, I do feel some slight pangs of wanderlust. Alas, much as I would like to accept your invitation, I fear my present duties with the House of Lords demand my undivided attention. By your deeds, you have helped us to lay the foundation for lasting reform. The formation of the Republic is but the beginning. For it is not only our system of governance which must needs change. I only pray that I live long enough to see us achieve some measure of success. I can still see you there on the steps of faith, striding fearlessly towards the worm. The question of how best to strengthen ties with the other great nations of Eorzea has, as you may imagine, maintaining stability during this period of historic upheaval is our paramount concern. Nevertheless, of course, we owe you the greatest debt of all, and it is my hope that in extending our support to you and the Scions, we might also express our gratitude to our neighbours. The Lords and Commons agree on very little, but not a soul in either house begrudges your order this offer of patronage. For all you have done and will do, we thank you. May I ask a personal question? Now that the dust has settled, what will you do?
Lord Commander, pray forgive the interruption.
News from House Fulton?
An urgent message for the Warrior of Light. I was instructed to deliver it without delay. Master Thancred returned to the manor a short time ago, bearing an injured maiden. Master Leveilleur and Mistress Tataru are tending to her wounds, but they like not her chances. Respectfully, my lord, they have requested the Warrior of Light's immediate presence.
You must go to them, my friend, and I shall go with you.
For every ending marks a new beginning. From tragedy and sacrifice, we rise to greet a new dawn, as did she. Only to be drawn unto another battlefield, another cause, as if by fate.
Yes.
Is that...
Alize, Alphinaud's twin sister. She ran afoul of the Warriors of Darkness. I had been tracking them since the ceremony at Falcon's Nest. Little did I know I was not the only one. Evidently, she had learned of their activities and attempted to shadow them on her own. Poorly. I rescued her in the Twelveswood, and together we fled north. But though I made every effort to cover our tracks, they caught up with us on the Ishgardian border. And in the ensuing struggle, Alize took an arrow to the shoulder. 'Twas only after we had made good our escape that I realized it was poisoned.
Thank you for coming so quickly, and...
Think nothing of it.
We have done all we can for now. Although the immediate danger has passed, the poison yet lingers in her blood. We came to Eorzea together, hoping to bring salvation to the realm our grandfather gave his life to protect. But when confronted with the bitter realities of its politics and its petty powermongers, she refused to become embroiled in what she termed Eorzea's squabbles. Though she remained hopeful of a brighter future, she would walk her own path. For all our differences, she's as dedicated as any scion to the salvation of Eorzea. To be reunited with her, only to lose her forever.
Take heart, Master Alphinaud. Bear Mistress Leveilleur to the infirmary at once. Apprise Captain Whitecape of the situation, and inform him that she is to be treated as my personal charge.
Alphinaud, is the Warrior of Light... The Warriors of Darkness are in league with the Ascians. Slaughtering the Primals is but the first step in their plan. They make for Zelvatol to bring about Garuda's summoning and to kill her. You must stop them.
I shall inform the others at once.
Master Thancred, I would ask that you accompany Mistress Leveilleur to the infirmary.
Of course.
So they were unable to see the ritual to its completion. Then Garuda is no longer a threat, and whatever the Ascians and the Warriors of Darkness were planning has come to naught. But we should not tarry. The knights have secured our path to safety.
Well, well. What do we have here?
You!
Wait, I know you. Still walking, I see.
Just what is your game? Leading us a long ways?
No. Let's not make hasty accusations. We arrived at the appointed hour.
It is hopeless.
Do mine ears deceive? A boy! So that's the way of it. Know that I will happily make it quicker for you.
Enough, Jarumul. We wouldn't want to upset the man in white with any unnecessary bloodshed now, would we? You've been awfully busy since we were kind enough to spare your lives.
While you were idly consorting with the Ascians, you mean? 7 hells! What could you possibly hope to achieve?
Should I explain it to you? Very well. You know the tale of Hydaelyn and Zodiac, I take it? Of the Great Sundering and the reflections it created?
Across 10 and 3 they were divided. Reflections of the source, each possessed of shards of light and dark.
Just so. One of those reflections, the one nearest to the source, is our home. And we were the heroes blessed with her light. But not all worlds hold light and dark in equal measure. So the Ascians, who once threatened our home, were no match. And they fell before us, one after another, till none were left. And then came the light. A flood of pure, blinding radiance, annihilating shadow and color and life itself. Ere long, it will consume our world.
That cannot be!
Believe what you like. But it has happened before, on a world far removed from ours. The 13th. Unchallenged light would condemn us to a similar fate. And so we joined hands with our former enemies, for there is but one way to restore the balance and save our home. Diada.
You would doom our world to save your own? What would even become of us?
Enough. You know our cause. You know what is at stake.
If there is aught you would say, say it. Otherwise, begone. Alize!
Well enough, brother. Thanks to the kindness of our hosts. When they told me you had departed for Zelphatol, I found that I could rest. The outcome seemed a mere formality, as did your safe return.
I take it your mission was a success.
As if we needed any further confirmation that they are in league with the Ascians, but to save another world.
I too thought his story fanciful at first, but it is possible there may be a kernel of truth in all of this.
You were following these people, Alice.
During my travels, I had oft enjoyed tales of the Scions and their exploits, but after a time, I began to hear whispers of a gifted and theretofore unknown band of adventurers. Adventurers who had supposedly sworn to travel the realm slaying primals in the Scion's stead.
The Warriors of Darkness. And in the course of investigating these rumours, you stumbled upon the Ascians' involvement.
Yes, exactly.
Forgive me, but if these Warriors of Darkness mean to bring about another calamity, to what end do they hunt primals?
To prompt an escalation. To deepen the beast tribe's feelings of helplessness and despair, and thereby drive them to summon ever more powerful gods. And lest we forget, these events do not occur in isolation. With their patron deities being slain left and right, the news of man's victory over Nidhogg must surely have sown panic in the minds of the beastmen. 'Tis no wonder they wish to defend themselves.
Power answered with greater power. Death with more death.
Indeed. The Ascians sow discord and desperation, and the Warriors of Darkness reap the harvest. Yet that is not the extent of their ambitions. The Ascian himself observed that once the powerless realize that the old gods have failed them, they will have little recourse but to look to a new one.
We cannot let that happen.
It should come as no surprise, but Alize and I have uncovered evidence that the Ascians have been manipulating certain parties to ensure that a constant stream of crystals flows into the hands of the beast tribes. If we sever these supply lines, we should at least be able to slow the escalation.
Agreed. Kral and I shall journey to Zelphatol and learn what we can of the Ixal's source.
Then I, for my part, pledge to lead a similar investigation into the origin of the Nath supply.
Sir Emmerich?
As a member of the Eorzean Alliance, Ishgard is honor-bound to play an active role in maintaining the security of the realm. You might also say that I have some personal motivation, given the Ascians' dealings with my father. However, I make no secret of the fact that my knowledge of primal beings is scant at best. As such, I should be most grateful if one of your order were to assist me.
Allow me, Sir Emmerich. I have dealt with the Nath before.
Let us consult with Orianja then. Given his dedication to the study of primal beings, I should be surprised if he could not tell us something of value.
Allow me to accompany you, brother. And before you think to refuse, know that I am not the girl I once was.
But Alize, you... You are more than welcome.
Wait a minute. I'm afraid I can't allow you to leave just yet.
Who goes there? Oh, it's you. He hasn't been feeling too welcome, to say the least. I thought a change of scenery might do him good. It's so quiet out here. Dawn may banish even the darkest night. I should be stronger for all my experiences. I never understood why Grandfather gave his life that day. I thought that if I came here, I would find the answers I needed. I was disappointed. I was angry. I could not fathom how these people were more deserving of his love than his family, than me. But when Grandfather revealed the whole truth of the calamity to us, I finally understood. My travels have been enlightening, but I cannot say that I have enjoyed them. I have lost count of the many petty crises that I was helpless to resolve, and of the people whose actions I could not understand. There were others, of course. Good people. I found myself asking what it was all for. Why try if I was doomed to fail in the end? To ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, it is indolence. We must all protect that which we hold most dear in the manner of our own choosing. We have to try, do we not? Of course, it's one thing to try and another to do. There were times while I was tracking the Warriors of Darkness when I faltered. Oh, pray forgive me. This conversation has been rather one-sided, hasn't it? Gods! They must have been at each other's throats from dawn till dusk. I dare say you managed to keep the peace, though. Merely being in the presence of the Warrior of Light is surely enough to shame anyone into behaving. The hopes and dreams of so many rest on your shoulders. As long as the sun rises, we can but carry on.
To what end dost thou cling to the tainted gifts of the Mother?
Every tool has its purpose. Even this. Well, what is it?
The seeds sown in Vilbrand have been plucked from the earth and left to wither. Alas, Titan's demise sufficed not to drive the kobolds to deepest desperation.
What did the man in white have to say?
That we are to proceed as he did first set forth.
Well, that's easy for him to say! It's not his bloody world on the brink of destruction, is it?
Be thou well reminded that with an end to Ishgard's unrest, naught now remaineth to preoccupy the Scion's thoughts.
Foresee? Are you sure you don't welcome them?
Pray do not mistake mine intent. I but look upon the path which lieth before us with due trepidation. Shouldst thou be of like mind, pray consider then another course. With thine own hand strike down thine enemy, the so-called hero who would see thy home lost to light. Do but this, and thou wouldst at a single stroke disrupt the all too delicate balance of this realm.
You do realize what you're suggesting, yes?
To ignore the plight of those one might conceivably save is not wisdom, it is indolence.
Very well. Draw her out.
It shall be done. What good a creed one cannot uphold? What hurts soothe? Minfilia, my friends, I shall... Full deeply though it paineth me to walk it, I shall not stray from my chosen path.